Welcome back, everybody. Anybody that's new here, thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna make this really quick. I'm gonna go stick some bass today. I need to go catch some great fish, and you guys need to comment below. Yay or nay for bass fishing. Probably gonna do it either way, but hopefully you guys can get on board with the whole idea of catching everything that swims and not just one species. I've noticed that's a big thing over the years, is like some videos I put out get thousands and thousands of views, and then some get like 300, and I know it's because the first bit of you guys that are watching this video click off because you're like, oh, it's bass fishing. Go catch some fish. Do me a favor, just go catch some fish, because that's what my goal is today, is to just catch some fish. It's been a really long time, and yeah, the water's finally warm enough, and it's warm enough outside, and I can go chase some LMBs. I might even get into some northern pike today. This lake, if you guys have been around, I'm on the lake that I usually fish on and off throughout the year. It just depends on how the season's going, but this one's really fun for big structure, or not big structure, but like it's a super shallow lake, but it's got a bunch of like weed lines, gravel, rock, lily pads, like all the fun stuff, and it's a really good topwater lake at some points in the year. So thumbs up for going and catching some fish. Do me a favor, comment below. You gotta like catching LMBs once in a while, even if you don't like want to do it all the time. All right, let's go catch some fish. Okay, so we're gonna start. The wind is currently blowing this way along the shoreline. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this light wind and try to cover some water really quick with a little crankbait. So like I was saying, this water is very shallow. I use this Man's Baby -1. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I do work with Tuned Up Customs, which is, I am so thankful for that, because this Apex cranking rod is perfect for these little crankbaits, and I've done really well in the past year and caught a bunch of different fish. One thing I do want to mention, and I know you guys hate the idea of mentioning merch and stuff like that, but I came up with a sticker for everyone, because I was just thinking about it. I'm like, man, anybody who watches my channel, we go fishing because it's part of us. We don't just do it because we have to. We don't do it because somebody talked us into doing it. I fish for everything because it's part of who I am. So if you guys want a sticker and rep DWC Outdoors, but mainly just kind of explain to people, if you're a fishaholic like I am, somebody who wants to just get on the water all the time, pick up some of these stickers, and then make sure you tag me if you get them. You can tag me at DWSDave31 on Instagram, or just tag me on Facebook, or you can just comment below that you got one of these stickers. I would just love to hear that, because this is one of those things where, like, when I made the sticker, I was like, I really hope a bunch of people understand that, like, I fish for everything because I have to go fishing. It's kind of an addiction. So let's go catch some fish now. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm gonna basically let the wind drift me along here. I don't know where these fish are at. This is my first time out on this lake this year, and yeah, the easiest thing to do: cast and retrieve and cover water. And basically I'm gonna do this until I contact fish. They could be spawning right now. It could be just before the spawn, could even be just after the spawn. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time out here. The water is like 69 degrees, which is technically spawning temps. I'm hoping I just run across a few males, or even a female that's just ahead of sitting on a bed maybe. Might get lucky and get a big one, slow rolling some stuff by shore. We will see. I have a bunch of different options, so we're gonna go from there. Okay, it might be too early for it, and I already covered a bunch of water with the crankbait, but there are lily pads, so I like to throw either like a jig, or like I'm gonna do a jig, football head and a craw, or a weightless worm through them, and yeah, see if anything's in and around them hunting. it's always a good thing to just kind of check structure. And you can work it a little bit slower that way. But it's really shallow, so I can still work it fairly quickly. I just do some little hops. See if I can get a reaction strike in there from somebody. Every once in a while you get lucky. There's one. Not a big one, but it's a fish. First LMB of the season. Came on the craw. It's always nice when you can feel them hit. I think that guy was in shallow and followed me in because he hit it right when I went into the weeds there. Could have been in the weeds though. It makes me want to pick apart all the weeds now. There we go. That's better fish. It's been a while since I hooked a decent fish out here. Come here. Right off the shoreline. How long is this one? About 16 inches. Let me get back real quick here. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. That thing, like, I'm talking inches from the shore, so I can see with my glasses on. I would put a polarizer on, but the water is so dirty, it doesn't matter. But I can see with my glasses on the shadows of the rocks. And I landed on a rock, hopped it off, and my line started shooting sideways. So these guys are sitting like on shore, which is fun. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's still fun. Let's see how many I can get today, though. Still just doing the football head and the craw. This thing it seems to work really good. I'll list everything I'm using in the description below. Rods, reels, everything. This is my Apex Elite medium heavy, the 7.2. So it's a medium heavy fast. It would have been so the way they designed this was a 7.6, but it's been cut down to 7.2. So it's super sensitive. It's like kind of like a lightning rod. You can feel them when they tap it. But yeah, makes it fun. So you guys can use the code DWS10 if you want to order these rods. It'll save you 10% on your whole order. So on everything you order, 10% off. But yeah, and that helps out everything. But enough of that. Let's catch a bunch more of these guys. That was fun. Now, they get bigger than that out here, but that was fun. Okay, so I think the last thing you guys probably saw is that colorful shore bass, the one I got like right on shore. What I'm gonna do here is there's a line of piers. I don't know if you guys can see them over there. There's some big piers on this shoreline along here, and I've gotten some of my biggest bass over the years on that side. And one of the things is, I don't know if that was last year or the year before, I can't remember, but there was a bass that had to have gone like 7 pounds. I'm talking like, so I live in Wisconsin, mind you, and this thing was just a freak. It had really yellow colors, and it had a just ginormous frame. It almost looked like that F1 style frame that's down south. I don't think they can survive up here, so if that's a pure strain Wisconsin bass, it's getting real close to the state record. So I'm gonna go toss that crawl along those shorelines. Two things: those shorelines have a lot more piers, a lot more structure, but also there tends to be a lot more northern pike. So keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm not getting bit off on a regular basis because I can't afford it. Okay, so I lied. I had to come check these weed flats out because sometimes up by this side of the lake there's some monsters up here, and I think the water's actually up right now. So we will see what we can get done here. I have gotten some very large fish out of these little pads, but it might be a little bit too early. This is a really good frogging spot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to throw the weightless worm around in here. It's a little too shallow and not enough hard bottom. Of course I wasn't recording, but this guy was just swimming with it. He's just up in these weeds over here. And I switched it to my black trickworm. Water's really dirty because it just rained a bunch, and that tends to help. Oh. I had one. He took it down into the weeds right here. Thought there was one over there. Saw a bunch of bluegills in that corner. I figured there had to be a bass stalking them. That worked out. It's always nice to have your suspicions confirmed. Well, like I was saying, there was one over there because there was a bunch of bluegills I could see up by shore. So they must be around them, piled up by shores and stuff like that, in the shade probably. So I'm gonna work my way through here really slow. See if there's any more. There's one. They're hiding in the shadows. Started throwing the craw again because I wanted to get back up under some piers, and I like throwing it on this rod. But this guy was just sitting in the shadows over here. I was just hopping it through the shadow, and I could feel him pecking at it actually. So he tried a couple different times. No real rhyme or reason where they're at yet. But so far I think that's 4 fish. Oh no, my craw! Right underneath the edge of that pier. That's always fun. Stole my craw though. That was cool, right underneath the edge of that pier. Glad I have extras. Okay, so that last one was just underneath the end of this pier. I'm gonna see if there's any other ones by the same spot. And then obviously I gotta try underneath every pier now. Meaning I have to relearn how to skip with this rod and reel. That was a fish. Was not sure on that one. But hook sets are free. That one looked a little healthier. Right off the shoreline again. Not giants, but I'll take them. That's for a fun day of fishing. We're doing good. was one with it. These guys have just been swimming with it today. Gotta play catch up and frickin' get the hooks in them. There's a good one right off the end of that pier. I can feel how hard that thing hit. Come here. That dude straight up murdered that freaking craw. Like, it hit hard. I'm gonna try and show you this thing. Well, there's the first decent one of the day. Might be like 2.5, 3 pounds. Looks like it's still got egg weight, like it's pre-spawn. So we will see. Like I said, this is Wisconsin, so it's not going to be a Texas bass, but for this state, I am happy to see them. Yeah, 279, so just under 3 pounds there. Like I said, not a freak by any means, but this thing clobbered that bait. Like, I hope you guys can see that. All right, I'm gonna get this spicy thing back. See, that was so much fun. I hope you guys get a chance to see the rod. Like, I was just lifting because I was so close to the pier. I was like, it's probably not gonna bite, and then I just lightning rod. This rod, if you guys get a chance to order yourselves an Apex Elite, the medium fast. So this is normally a 7.6 medium heavy, right? But it's cut down to 7.2. It's got like twitchy. Like, I'm using 30 pound, was it Suffix 832, and then like a 20 pound fluoro clear leader from P-Line or whatever. And with that combination, when they hit this jig, it's like, if it does what that one does, it shocks you. It's like a lightning bolt, and I love that. That's my kind of fishing. I want to feel bites a lot of times, because, you know, you're just kind of casting along, and I mean, the last fish was probably like a half hour ago type thing, so it was just one of those things. When it hit, it surprised me, and yeah, that was awesome. So I'm gonna see if I can get that done a couple more times. I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but it's kind of looking like the clouds are moving in. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm having fun. That's all that matters right now. I'm having fun. Hopefully you guys are having fun too. This is so much fun. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what you guys saw last, but I ran to the other side of the lake, and I'm gonna just try and pick apart some of these new fresh weeds here, see if there's any big bass hiding in amongst them. I believe the water's up here like 2 feet. I just realized it as I was cruising along the shoreline. Some of the piers were actually like getting close to being underwater, and yeah, that makes things a little bit more difficult. I didn't even realize that, but I'm gonna, like I said, pick apart some of these lily pads, maybe some of these pencil reeds. Hopefully give myself at least a chance at one big fish today. That 2.5 pounder or whatever, almost 3, is the biggest so far. But I have gotten them close to 5 out here, and I still need to beat 5 pounds on this lake, well, in the state of Wisconsin, period. Ugh. Wish me luck. Okay, so I'm seeing fish jumping. I don't know if they're carp, but I am 100% gonna throw this in and around these pads and weed lines. Like I said, the water is up, but obviously it looks like the weeds grew in super thick and early this year, so there's going to be some predominant weed lines. I'm basically just looking for empty water underneath lily pads or by pencil reeds. Oh, had one. They're in here. They're in here. There's one. Can I get him out of there? Or did he got me in a weed. Okay, I have a good feeling there's more than one in here. The question is going to be, can I hook them and get them out of here? I have my, this is my Apex Elite Medium Heavy. This is a 7.6. And yeah, I forgot what Daiwa this is, but I don't know if it's got the power to winch them out or if I'm just gonna have to like motor up to them to pick them up. But that first one I hooked and lost. All I got to do is dive down and there's lily pads and weeds everywhere for them to run into. Okay guys, so I worked my way around the lake. I worked in and out of the weeds. I did get one hookup, but after that one, everything kind of went silent. And it's getting really hot out here, so I think I'm gonna call it on that one. Remember, if you guys enjoy all the videos and you fish for everything, pick yourself up some of those stickers. They'll be linked below. And yeah, hit that like button. Share these videos with some friends and family too if they like just going fishing like I do. That way we can grow this channel and everybody on it enjoys just going out and getting some fish. See you guys next time.